Hello, hello, good evening everybody. Welcome back to the Diablo 2 Let's Play. Solo self-found Let's Play. We're going to jump back in with Danziel here. If you remember last time we left off, we were farming Andariel so that we could get some items, get some experience, get ourselves up to level 17 so we could put on our stealth armor that we crafted last time. And then we'll push our way through Act 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything that we picked up here.
Good day.
And faster hit recovery. I actually think the faster hit recovery is better than that. And our mercenary died. I don't know if we necessarily need to bring the mercenary back right now because she's probably likely to die to Andariel again. Andariel is pretty tough. This is the Umbral. This is our first unique item that we found. This is a shield. You can see this particular shield happened to spawn ethereal, which means that it can't be repaired. It has 20 durability, and once it runs out of durability, it'll just go away, disappear. But for now, we'll use it. 20 to life, -2 light radius. That's not super fun, but extra chance to block, that kind of stuff. I mean, for early shields, it's really not bad, especially since our initial one that we had. This is a really cool ring. Look at this: cold resist, lightning resist, a little bit of attack rating, 10% magic find. Yes, absolutely. We will put that on in place of our 8% magic find ring, which we'll just pitch. We'll happily equip this. What else did we find here? Ring of Craftsmanship, +1 max damage. That's basically useless. Let's go pick up some mana potions from Akara.
Hello.
And then we will go back to farming Andariel. Remember, she's down in the catacombs. Still got the same map. So, and again, we're gonna bypass most of these guys who are not minions or part of some kind of an elite pack. Because unless they happen to corner us like that, in which case we'll just use our Fire Blast to get out of it.
Not enough mana.
Spiders again. And just keep moving on. So those guys are worth killing. Again, additional experience. Usually they have a higher chance of dropping things like potions. They drop more gold. So it's not a bad idea to kill those guys. It's actually a great idea to kill those guys when you come across them. Those special mini-boss packs or special minion packs. There's going to be another one here. Accidentally cast 3 traps. Didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. And there's the actual boss. And now go through this door, we should be able to get down to Catacombs level 4. Again, we just run through this room because there's... And you can actually close that door right behind you. Come in here, and then those guys just won't even bother. They'll stay in that room. They're not as smart as the raptors from Jurassic Park. They don't know how to open doors.
I am overburdened.
And she's gone. So there we go. Let's see if we can pick up those chain gloves. Rinse and repeat. So why do we want to find? Why do we want to keep farming Andariel? As I mentioned, you get more gear. More gear is always fun. That's always one of the benefits of this game. Is just getting better items makes you more powerful. You know, that sort of slot machine of loot. to keep that rolling is one of the really fun things about this game. Is what makes it so addicting when you get to, especially when you get to high levels, you're just like farming bosses over and over again. But also, you can use items that you find not just on this character, but on subsequent characters that come along. So this will be my first character, kind of the first one through the door to beat the game and start farming things that she can then pass back to future characters that I'm going to be bringing along. So a sorceress is a really great magic finding character, a really great farming character, because sorceresses have a skill called teleport that allows them to just kind of instantly zip around from place to place, so they can get to bosses very quickly. All of these runs that we're doing, like to get to Andariel, the sorceress can do that 5 times, 10 times faster, because they can just teleport right to where they need to go and go in and kill the boss, exit, come back and do it again. So a sorceress is a great character to build, you know, for your first character as well. But sorceresses can be a little weak. You know, they're very fragile. Whereas the assassin has, you know, she's a little bit sturdier, a little tankier. She can take more hits, and also her playstyle is such with the traps when she puts them in various places. I'm just looking at these things thinking, I really don't need this stuff. This is really not going to matter, because this is another set item. It's not the same set as our Berserkers. This is the Berserkers set, and this is the Cleglaw's Brace set. These chain gloves have slows target by 25%, which is nice, so it'll just slow your target down as you hit it. But they also have knockback, which is just incredibly annoying. It actually knocks your target back like a third of the screen, and it just makes it really annoying as a melee character to fight. It's great for ranged characters. If you are using a bow, it's awesome. Keeps people off of you. But as a melee character, knockback is like legitimately one of the worst things.
Not here.
So let's go kill Andariel again. But anyway, the beauty is, as you find items, you can then pass them on to future characters, and then they will be able to get through the game that much faster, or they will be that much closer to their eventual end game build, and then they will be more effective. And just kind of building up characters that is the fun. So, why the assassin? I've kind of talked about that a little bit, as far as why this character. First and foremost, it's, you know, it's an homage to the first character that I ever had, Denzeal. And Denzeal actually started off using Wake of Fire, which is why I think it's particularly fitting. Because I was just absolutely dominating, rolling through normal, a lot like Denzeal II is here, and killing everything and having a great time. And then I got the idea that, you know what, I should use some skills from the other skill trees. Well, that was a big mistake. Because even back then, before the monsters and everything got rebalanced, you know, you could never afford to. Look at that, we've got a light crossbow, another unique item. See, Andariel just drops lots of uniques, lots of, you know, special items. Those chain boots might be good. That eagle orb will probably be worth some money. Pick that stuff up. That sacred globe could also be good. Now it's just plus to life and a 1 socket, so that's really not that special. So again, rinse and repeat. I got the great idea that, you know, I should use some martial arts skills and not just rely on my traps all the time. And honestly, you'll see it with this character.
Good to
Once
see you.
you get to about halfway through Nightmare difficulty,
Greetings.
the game becomes harder in the sense that the monsters you're fighting start to develop more resistances to the damage that you're doing. So this is the Lead Crow light crossbow. I have seen this thing in the game maybe once or twice. This is a really rare item in the sense that it's so low level that most people, when you start farming, you're going to start farming at high levels. You just don't see it that often because the monsters that you're killing have less chance of dropping items. You know, if you're farming in like hell difficulty where all the monsters you're fighting are level 70 or 80, or even in the 90s in some cases, you know, they're just not going to drop an item that's required level 9. So this is kind of a cool item. A lot of extra damage. Deadly Strike, which basically just means you do double damage. Attack rating. Cool weapon. If we make an Amazon at some point that uses a bow, this could be a cool weapon. The only problem with it is that it's only normal attack speed, and typically Amazons are going to want weapons that shoot faster than that. What are these boots? These boots are interesting. They have a lot of mods on them. You can see rare items, magic items. It's a good example of a magic item. They can have 1 or 2 mods. It's based on the prefix and the suffix. So this is a large charm, but it's a barrel large charm, which means that the barrel adds the poison resist, and the of strength gives it the +2 strength. So magic items can have 1 or 2 modifications to them. And when I say magic, I mean blue items. Rare items can have a lot more mods on them. But interestingly enough, the thing that makes the kind of the loot so... It doesn't just mean that every rare item is better than every magic item, because the range that these mods can have on rare items is smaller than the range that the prefixes and suffixes can have on magic items. For example, you can find gloves in the game that will add +2 to martial arts skills, for example. You can also find magic gloves that will add +3 to martial arts skills. Blue gloves that add +3 to martial arts skills. The highest amount of extra martial arts skills you'll ever find on a rare set of gloves will be +2. But those rare set of gloves will probably have more mods added to them, like, you know, additional attack rating or lightning resistance or faster hit recovery, those kinds of things. So that's kind of the way the game, you know, balances itself. And then you have unique items like this, which a lot of times will have, of course, they have a whole litany of modifications, and some of those things can be really just specific to that item, something that you may not find on any other item in the game. This one, you know, Deadly Strike, attack rating, enhanced damage, poison resist, those are all normal mods that you could find on something else. There could be a rare crossbow in the game that has, you know, all of those things. And the rare items are basically randomly generated. The unique items, there is one unique item for every, not every, but there's, when a light crossbow drops that is unique, it's always going to be a Lead Crow. When a pair of boots, chain boots drops that's rare, it's going to be Bitter Tread, or it's going to be, you know, Havoc Trample, or it's going to be one of these other combinations of, you know, affixes. So this is +2 strength, we're keeping that for now. This is just worth money, really. Not going to keep those, but I am actually going to save this bow. I'm just going to put it over here in my shared stash tab, because I do want to start saving unique and set items as I go through that are interesting, that are useful. Okay, let's go kill Andariel again. See what she drops this time. We won't spend forever doing this, like I said, we'll just go up to level 17. And then I want to start working my way up. Hello. You guys, get out of the doorway. And then we'll start working our way through Act 2. I was thinking we would get through Act 2, but I keep stopping to talk, and that definitely slows me down. Anyway, so as I was talking about with Danziel, the original Danziel, she got to that point in the game where, monsters started to get tough. And, the traps were just taking forever to kill things. And it just got to be too difficult to keep moving on, because the traps that I had, first of all, this is before the synergies were added into the game. So there was, all I had was, basically like a level 10 fire trap. It wasn't like I had, a level 10 fire trap with all of the other fire skills built up to add all the additional synergy damage that got buffed into the game later. There's a whole history to how the game has been patched and evolved over time, and I'll probably talk about some of those things as we go. But just know that the monsters used to have less health, and the skills used to not synergize.
I need mana.
Shoot, what happened? Ran out of mana. I was thinking I was casting all these traps, but I wasn't. Alright, so just a bunch of rare items this time. That's okay. Don't think it's even really worth picking up some of these other items, because not. Let's see what this Rondech is. This Rondech, nah, it's only 5 resistant. That is the Paladin unique. Every class in the game has a unique type of item to them. So assassins have the claw weapons that only assassins can use. Barbarians have helmets that only barbarians can use.
Stay a while and listen.
Paladins have shields that only paladins can use. So, I mean, any class can use a shield, obviously, but there are certain shields that are really just for paladins. This is clearly better than what we have. Not a ton better, but a little bit of poison resistance and attack rating, which we don't really ever hit anything anymore, so it doesn't really matter, but sure, that's fine. Druids have druid pelts, which are basically like helmets that they like wolf skins or whatever that they wear as helmets. And Amazons are actually lucky in the sense that there are 3 kinds of Amazon-specific weapons. There are Amazon-specific spears, there are Amazon-specific bows, and there are Amazon-specific javelins, because the Amazon can use, has skills that benefit each of those different things. So the Amazon is the only one that has a bunch of different kinds of weapons. And Necromancers have shrunken heads, which basically take the place of their shield slot.
I need mana.
Hey, and another set item just happens to randomly drop off of one of those afflicted. So we're just picking up all kinds of goodies. Take a look at that after I'm done killing Dariel here.
I need mana.
And there is our level. So this is going to be our last handy run.
I need mana.
And she gives us really nothing. Hatchet hands. Maybe the hatchet hands will have a benefit to some skill we want. This guy, darn shaman, I tell you. Okay. Let's see if we can fit this hatchet hands.
I am
Actually, let's
overburdened.
pick up these heavy boots and just identify them real quick, see if they're moving at all. Nope, they are not. Pick up these hatchet hands. And then we'll just head back to town and make our way to
Greetings.
Loot Go Lane, clear out our stuff.
There.
Well, hi there, Charcy. Enhanced defense, fine. Mana per kill. Actually, that's kind of nice. That would help us in terms of restoring our mana, but I don't really feel like adding the 37 dexterity that I need there, so we're just going to let that go. Again, these are just, the dexterity requirement is a little too high. This is the Arctic Binding light belt, which is good. The only concern I have with it, I mean, 40 cold resist is great. Only concern here is that it only has +4 slots, and we currently have +8 slots, so there's a little bit of quality of life loss. But the cold resistance is probably worth it, so I'm going to go ahead and get it. We'll wear it. Drop this stamina potion. And, yeah. So now you can see our cold resistance is really high. Our fire resistance is really high. Our resistances look great for this point in the game. I'm going to start leveling my strength a little bit more because we're going to start getting some gear that is going to require a little bit more strength. Back over to the skill tree. Just keep pumping that Wake of Fire. And let's go back to Loot Go Lane. I believe we had the quest for Radamant last time, where Anya wanted us to go down to the sewers and find and kill the beast Radamant. So let's go ahead and do that. She said to go down the sewer trapdoor up the street. It's actually another entrance to the sewers over here. That tends to be a little bit closer to where we need to go. Go down here by the docks and into the sewers. And 9 times out of 10, the way down is just like right around the corner here. Looks like we maybe got a little unlucky this time. I don't see the way down right here. Maybe it's over here. Unless I just missed it around this corner. Yep, there it is. Alright, so there are 3 levels to the sewers. You wouldn't know that unless you played the game before. Radamant is going to be down in the 3rd level.
I need mana.
Radamant can be a bit of a challenge for classes that don't have a lot of AoE, because he has a lot of spawns around him. Now, these guys are not dying quite as quickly because they are Burning Dead, and Burning Dead have, it doesn't say it on them anywhere, but they have a little bit higher resistance to fire damage. I thought the way down might be over there. So if you do a lot of fire damage, or if you're particularly reliant on fire damage, which we are, this can, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and use this because we are out of mana potions, and I want to get some more. And honestly, I think we're just going to get rid of our...
How do I know I can...
Oops, I meant to...
How do I know I can trust you, hmm? You may be as shifty as that pack rat Elzix who runs the inn. But if you need a potion, though, I suppose I can make you one. For a price, of course.
Alright, Lysander. Let's, Actually, I'm thinking we should probably pick up, our mercenary again. We don't need all of these healing potions. But we do need a lot of mana potions. So let's go and If your mercenary dies, you just go to whoever the local quartermaster is. And in this case, it's Grays.
I bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert. Well, I can tell you that it's got nothing to do with the local town guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my mercenaries to help keep the peace around here. We're not cheap, but we're the best this wasteland has to offer.
Charming fellow. Alright, and we can resurrect Paige. So now Paige is back with us. I'm trying to remember what she all has here. Just basic stuff. Okay. And we'll head back down. And if Paige keeps dying, yeah, you know, we may just say, forget it. But for now, we'll let her, give her a shot. See how she does. A lot of times when you go through the game, you know, you can easily get through this entire game without needing a mercenary at all. Sometimes they're helpful. There are a few instances where, depending on what kind of character you are, you do different kinds of damage, or whatever. Mercenaries can be quite beneficial. When you get to the point where you are farming, mercenaries can be great because mercenaries at the end game with end game gear can carry some very powerful buffs. There's gear that mercenaries can use that basically give them auras or other buffs that they can, or debuffs, I guess, that they can put on enemy targets. So having a mercenary in that regard is extremely beneficial.
Not enough mana.
Somewhere here we will run into radicals. He's definitely down here. This corner. Yep, and he's up here. You can tell because you can see the sort of sparkling chest on the minimap. So, let's get in there. And he will basically just keep summoning skeletons.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
And he's dead. The heavens are really mad at our Radamant.
Vengeance for Atma.
Okay, so we have this cool thing called the Book of Skill. Hold A to learn the skill of your choice. Nice. That basically gave us another skill point. Trying to think of where we even want to put it. Don't need weapon block. Don't need psychic hammer at all. Don't need any of these. So we will just put it into one of our trap synergies, because that will make our Wake of Fire a little bit better. We also found an amulet and a circlet. And he dropped a town portal, which is nice. And there's a Herodic scroll. What is this? Let's check our quest log. So, return to Atma for a reward, and show the scroll to Cain. Just pick up this gold real quick,
Thank
and
you.
we will head back. First of all, we'll stop at Atma.
Good day.
And I love... Here, let's
They
talk
say
about
that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet. but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace.
So this is one of those parts of the game where I think it's kind of cool to show what it used to look like. Not that it looked bad, but the level of detail that they put into this resurrected thing. So this is legitimately like the old version of the game. And then the new one, you can see they really went through and handcrafted, touched up all of those areas that were just kind of shadowy or pixels and things like that. There was a lot of, a lot of people talk about, like, the garlic and all the other things that they put in here compared to what they looked like before. It's the same, but it's not. It's higher resolution. It shows that they took their time with it. They did a nice job. It's one of the better remasters, I think.
The lost Horodric scroll. What a fortunate turn of events. As the last living Horodrim, I alone have knowledge of its meaning.
How
Now,
convenient.
to read the Horodric runes it bears. The Horodric mages, after binding Bale within Tal Rasha, magically sealed off his burial chamber from the mortal realm. Those same mages also crafted fearsome Horodric staves, and imbued them with the special power to open the chamber's hidden door. After nearly losing one to the thievery of a rogue sorcerer, they divided all the Horodric staves into two parts, wooden shaft and metal headpiece, hiding them separately to safeguard them. The Horodrim foresaw our current plight and designed the hiding places to reveal themselves to worthy heroes like you. Collect both parts of a Horodric staff and unite them using a Horodric cube. Then you may enter Tal Rasha's burial chamber.
Not in town.
Great.
I know much
So we
about
gotta
the
find.
ancient religions. I was trained as a paladin of Zakarum in the Eastern Koras Temple many years ago.
So what is this? This is actually kind of a high-level item for where we are. It adds a bunch of lightning damage and also extra gold for monsters. So I'm going to save this and give this to my mercenary once she's high enough level. And I realize we never put on our stealth armor. Let's put this on. We should just sell this.
It is an honor to serve you.
And you can see, I forgot as I was moving around there. I just zipped right over. This is 1 to strength and a little bit of fire resist. This entropy wing amulet is still way better. Keep saving these gems as we go. And you can see our move speed is much faster now. Also, our poison resistance is totally maxed out. 75% is the highest that you can get. And because of our stealth, we are totally maxed, so that's nice. Our dexterity is also 39, so if we wanted to, I guess we could use one of these Katars now. I don't think... This one's a little bit faster attack speed, so I'm going to have them use that, just because attack speed affects how quickly we can throw our fire bombs and lay traps. That's literally the only reason I'm doing that. Okay. So Jaren wanted to speak with us. Let's go talk to him.
Halt. You may not pass.
That's fine. I don't want to
I
pass. I
have
want to
heard
talk
of
to
your
Jaren.
many deeds of skill and bravery. I feel I can trust you with something I have been hesitant to speak of. Drognin and I have concluded that the Dark Wanderer who passed through here recently was Diablo himself. Drognin believes that Diablo is searching the desert for the secret tomb where the great Horodric mage Tal Rasha keeps Bale imprisoned. You must find Diablo and put an end to the terrible evil that has fallen upon our city. Drognin is wise and is sure to have some helpful advice for you as to how Tal Rasha's tomb may be found. It may take you quite some time to find the tomb. May you be ready when you do.
Okay. So I think what we need to do now, the end thing is to find Tal Rasha's tomb. That's going to be our end goal in this quest, in this act. But right now, we have to find, in the Halls of the Dead, we have to find the cube. In the Maggot Lair, we have to find the shaft. And the Claw Viper Temple, we have to find the headpiece. So we need all three of those things in order to assemble the Herodric staff that will, in a very Indiana Jones sort of way, reveal the location of the Tal Rasha's tomb. So let's get on out of here. I think the exit is this way. Let's go see if we can find the Halls of the Dead. And these beetles who cast these dunk soldiers who cast the lightning, they can be annoying in the sense that all that lightning damage, if you don't have good lightning resist, it can really ruin your day quick. But they give really good experience. So whenever you see a pack of beetles, kill them. Even if they're not birds, they're just, because they take off and they land and they, you know, they're just one of those annoying type of monsters to kill. So we're just making our way around the perimeter here of the Rocky Waste in the hopes that it will lead us to the Dry Hills, which is where the Halls of the Dead should be. So here's the Dry Hills, somewhere here. Oh, look at this. There's the Dry Hills waypoint. There was a waypoint in the sewers, in level 2 of the sewers, but it wasn't worth trying to find because there's no reason. Once you've killed Radamant, there's really no reason to go back down there. You can farm Radamant, I guess, but if you're going to go to the trouble of farming Radamant, you'd be... And here we go. We're right here at the Halls of the Dead. So let's just go ahead and do this. Somewhere down here, going to be in this room, we should find...
Not enough money.
a Herodric cube. You can see the power of this fire trap. It's just so nice. You just throw these traps down ahead of you in a room and just kind of takes care of business. It's also console friendly, not something that I really talked about at all, is that this game used to just be on PC. And so it's cool that they were able to port it over to console. It's not quite as good. Certainly you lose a lot of the precision. One of the problems that I run into a lot when I'm playing this character, I wouldn't say a lot, but one of the things I find a little bit frustrating is that if you're playing on PC, you can just, you know, right-click the positions where you want to lay those traps, where on console you just kind of have to aim your character in that direction and then she'll cast it about, you know, half to 2/3 of a screen length away from you. So it takes a little bit of feel to get used to, you know, where she's going to actually go from. And it does mean that, you know, I find myself having to kind of maneuver around. Is that a unique ring? Sure is. And part of the reason we're finding some of these items, obviously we did farm Andariel to get some things, but having that little bit of Magic Find makes a huge difference, because Magic Find works like most things in this game with diminishing returns. The more Magic Find you have, the less effective Magic Find. That makes sense. But the benefits of, you know, the difference between having Magic Find, having like 100% better chance of finding magic items and 200% chance of finding magic items is in actuality less than the difference between having, you know, 50% chance of having magic items versus having none, right? As Mr. Llama always points out, the first points of Magic Find are the most valuable points of Magic Find. Because going from no Magic Find to having any Magic Find at all is quite valuable. That doesn't mean you won't find magic items without Magic Find items. Just find more.
I need mana.
So it also works in such a way that it does increase your chance of finding it, even though it says increased chance of finding magic items. It does also mean increased chance of finding set and rare items. It's not the same level, right? Your effective increased chance of finding set unique and set rare and unique items is less.
Not enough mana.
And there are calculators, of course, that you can plug in online that say, you know, there's graphs that show what your actual amount of Magic Find is based on, you know, what your stated Magic Find is in the game. So, for example, you know, if you have 100% better chance of finding magic items, and of course the way down was right here the whole time. If you have 100% better chance of finding magic items, you probably actually have 50% increased chance of finding a unique item, right? So I believe this is the final level of the Halls of the Dead. So the cube should be down here somewhere.
I need mana.
Let's see, we're just blowing through mana potions like crazy, and
Not
here
enough
is
mana.
the room where the cube should be. Alright, so, sparkling chest, and there it is, Herodric Cube. Beautiful. Just have it sort this out. Yep. Some of these potions, and just pop back to town. We are level 17, level 19
You
is when we
have
can
quite
start
a
using.
treasure there in that Herodric Cube. According to Herodric lore, the cube can restore a Herodric staff. To do it, use the cube as you would a scroll. When the cube opens, place both pieces of the staff into it and use the cube's transmute power. You'll be pleased to know that the cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae.
So the Herodra Cube is awesome. It basically, it gives you a little more stash space because it occupies 4 spots in your inventory or wherever you put it, but it has 12 spots inside of it. And you can put things inside of it, and this is basically, this and runes are the basis of the crafting system in Diablo. You'll see there's some different items that we may make using the cube. The cube will be used, of course, for the Herodric Staff. We'll probably have to use it for a couple of other quests as we go through the game as well.
How may I help you?
And here's an example of a barbarian helmet. Only barbarians can use it. Hey, it's a Nagel ring with 28% better chance. My goodness, we are finding all kinds of magic find right now. I am not going to complain. A 28 Nagel is really good. I think it maxes out at 30. So that's the thing with unique items, is even though it's a unique ring, rings are special in that there is more than one unique ring in the game. The Nagel ring is maybe the lowest level of all the rings that you can get, but there's a range on some of these numbers. So the attack rating, it's probably like 65 to 80 or something like that. The magic find on it, better chance of finding magic items, also has a range on it. I want to say it's like 15 to 30. So finding one with 28% better chance of getting magic items is legitimately great, and definitely something that we will use this for a long time, because any character who is farming could use a 28% Nagel ring just for that boost to finding magic items. So that's a nice little find at this point.
Good day.
And go back to Lysander. I get rid of this one. Don't really need it anymore. Just drop these. I really just want to get an absolute ton of these potions. Sell off some of those healing potions. Didn't need to move that in there. And okay. Now we'll go back and grab that waypoint and do this perfectly efficiently. Oops. Dry Hills is where we were trying to go, but it was relatively close, so it's not that far of a run. And now we just need to find where the maggot layer is, so we can find the staff, as well as it's an experience shrine. So we might as well kill some things while we have the experience shrine. That will help us level up a little faster. I'm going to take this little ladder up.
Mana.
That's going to be up here somewhere.
I need mana.
Sometimes it's nice to just stand there and let everything die. Here's the Far Oasis. beetles plus the experience shrine, absolutely, that is fantastic. I will happily take that. You can see we leveled up right there. But yeah, more beetles plus an experience shrine. Just watching that experience bar go up and up. There's a minion group. Actually, I want to pick up these mana potions. Just chugging mana potions non-stop here. There's the Far Oasis waypoint. And our experience shrine is out, but pick that up. But you can see we gained just from that one experience shrine. Gained the better part, probably 3/4 of a level in the time that we had that experience shrine active. So it can be really quite nice. Oh, there's a Beetle Burst. He's great experience. A lot of the speedrunners will specifically seek out Beetle Burst because he is such... Here is the Maggot Lair. I'm going to drop a town portal here because I don't want to go in there just yet. I want to find the next waypoint, and then we will come back to that. Again, speedrunning tip that I learned by watching. Just ways to play the game a little bit more efficiently. I mean, there's no wrong way really to do it. Like, when I was first playing, when I played this game back when I was in college, I killed everything. I just cleared, I full cleared every map. I would never leave all of the monsters. Something about that was just like, no, I'm fighting all of these evil monsters. I can't just leave them here. You know, they're gonna come after the people in the town or whatever, but I thought that might be a path out. Not, you know, of course, realizing all too well that as soon as I saved and exited, all of those monsters and it would have been a lot more efficient for me to just go ahead and kill the monsters that I really needed to kill and not worry about chasing down every single annoying little sand leaper who would take me, you know, a minute to kill when all of these other guys just die almost instantaneously. This should be the way out. Yep, the Lost City. So there is a waypoint here in Lost City. We'll get that. And then we'll go back and pick up. Ooh, what happened there? There's a quest that's been updated. And it is to ask Drognin about the strange darkness of the tainted sun. Meanwhile, while we're at it, let's go ahead and just more vitality. We've over 40 strengths. So that should be good. And, of course, more Wake of Fire. This is a trapdoor to the ancient tunnels. And here is the Lost City. So we'll do that. Pop back to Lugla Lane real quick. While we're here, let's just go talk to Drognin. He's over in this corner.
Good evening. I've heard that you are responsible for banishing Andariel back to the burning hells. I'm impressed, stranger. That couldn't have been easy. My name is Drognin, and I know what you're up against, my friend. You ought to look over my inventory of items for trade.
Okay.
I've been researching this lengthy eclipse, and I believe it to be the work of claw vipers. Find their temple beneath the desert sands, and you may find the source of this curse.
Alright, so Drognin is like the Akara of this class, of this act, and he sells scepters, staves, you know, things like that. He also, I believe, sells mana potions, so that is a good thing to know. Normally I would use Kane for this, but that's okay. Alright. Map back on here. And we got a tier rune. Still got a pretty good supply of mana potions. So let's go do the Maggot Lair. I will warn you that, as far as I'm concerned, Maggot Lair, it's the grossest place in the entire game. So, let's go on inside. So you will find beetles down here. And I'm just gonna use my fire blast a lot here because sometimes you'll be able to use, you know, you'll run into rooms like this where, you know, your fire trap will do some work. But so much of this map is just these really narrow corridors that the fire traps just they don't get a chance to really expand and do their work. So we're just gonna plow our way through here, chugging mana potions all the way, just throwing fire bombs at everything we run into. And here we have the way down. I don't know of any classes who really do great in the Maggot Lair. Maybe Necromancers. There's a skill called like Bone Spear or something that is just a straight line skill. I think probably Amazons would do okay. A lot of their skills are kind of linear. This Maggot Lair is actually not too bad. And here we are
Not enough mana.
to the boss of the Maggot Lair. And to me, the best thing to do is just throw a bunch of traps in here and wait for them to do their work. Gross. Ugh. Anyway, that takes care of the bug. And we have the Staff of Kings, which is part of the Herodric staff that we were looking for. And I think with that...
Good evening. The Staff of Kings. You astound me, my friend. You have discovered the shaft portion of a Herodric staff. I trust you know how to use a Herodric cube to unite the shaft with its headpiece.
Yeah, you told me how to do that, and I don't have the headpiece yet, so we're going to have to wait. but I think we'll pick that up. So here's the Staff of Kings. This actually isn't a bad staff. It's extremely fast, and it has resistances, so it's not a horrible idea to, I mean, we could use it. The only issue is that we're going to be using this leaf staff very soon, and that's going to make all of our fire skills even more powerful, so we'll just wait for that one. Hit recovery, nice, but we have faster run walk on our boots. That's probably more valuable at this point, so we'll go ahead and put the staff inside the cube, so we're ready for it when it's time.
Good morning.
Trade a couple things here. Let's load up
Greetings.
with Lysander. And, yeah. So destroy the Serpent Altar in the Claw Viper Temple. And I think the Claw Viper Temple is where we need to go anyway to find the headpiece for the Herodic Staff. So next time, we'll do that. We'll look for the Herodic Staff headpiece, hopefully join the pieces together in the Herodic Cube, figure out what these other two quests are about, and probably finish up Act 2. So we'll see you then.